Did you know that each season celebrations are held at the Grand Hub?
Each season, celebrations are held at the Grand Hub.
And did you know that first is the celebration of spring coming April 23rd? The Festival of Accord Blossomdance.
First is the celebration of spring coming April 23rd. The Festival of Accord Blossomdance.
Okay, I'll stop now. Hello, my fellow hunters, and it's not long till we get our next sweet injection of Monster Hunter content to make us go wild. And it takes the form of our first seasonal festival that'll transform the Grand Hub into a beautiful sakura blossom-filled paradise, give us loads of new hunts to do, armor sets to earn, and generally vibes to have. And I wanted to talk about it so you're all prepared, you know what to expect, and indeed to have a little look back at the festivals of old, back in World and Iceborne, where we had actually kind of a metric ton. So first and foremost then, Blossomdance itself. One of the main draws of a festival is that they bring back essentially every single event quest that has existed so far, and that is no different here. If we look to the schedule on the week the Blossomdance will release, well, we can see quite the long list. The majority of it is all of the previous event quests that we've had, including all the armor that it has introduced, like the Amstrigian helmet, the expedition headgear, the Mimifita headgear, basically a weird theme of just putting live animals on your head and calling it a day, but I'm not complaining, that's very Monster Hunter, as well as the decoration and artian farms for what they're worth. But we also have these 5 new event quests that the Blossomdance will bring, and this is what we expect. That's what World and Iceborne ones always do, and some of them will give us even more armor, such as the sealed eye patch from That Won't Work On Me for a Tempered Zoo Woo. That's really exciting. The sealed eye patch is a real classic. And then we have a pair of Lala Barinas giving us the Blossom armor set, and ironically, the Blossom armor set came with World in the Spring Blossom Festival and used the Spring Blossom ticket, so it makes sense the Blossomdance is giving us a Wilds version of it, so that's really, really lovely to see. But that seems to be it when it comes to that. Sometimes we even get weapons, but there's nothing else here. A few other event quests, we'll go all over them in detail once it actually releases for you guys, review the armor and all of that loveliness, but that's what we're at least expecting for sure certain. However, there does tend to be a general festival ticket that isn't tied to a particular event quest, like the aforementioned Spring Blossom ticket. And we should then, in theory, get a Blossomdance ticket, which should, in theory, craft a armor set that is the Blossomdance armor set. So I would expect, at minimum, based on this, for there to be 2 different armor sets for us to enjoy, along with the sealed eye patch. Whether there's going to be more than that is hard to say, but normally you do get quite a little handful of fun stuff. And we did see in all of the Title Update 1 preview stuff more bits of equipment like the legendary flowing scarf, so there is every chance that we will get a way to unlock it once the festival does hit. There is also every chance and likely to be surprises that you can't just predict from the trailers and the event quests. I said that weapons have been a part of this in previous festivals, quite a lot of them. Some classics like the Jewel Blade mugs of beer, the Downy Crake Jewel Blades. Jewel Blades had a lot of good ones now that I think about it, but it wouldn't shock me at all if, surprise, there is a new twist for one or multiple of the 14 weapons come Festival Day. And past Past that then, we should have the Grand Hub looking lovely, and there might well be some unique things going on that's been known to happen, and some fun interactable stuff just to add to the environment, and basically everyone just has a lovely time everywhere you look. In terms of being prepared for it, more than anything, just go in knowing you're going to have a bunch of new hunts to do for a bunch of rewards, and there should be daily ways to get a main sort of festival ticket. It might well be tied to the weekly goals of hunting that you can have a look at the cat in each of the camps and such, which will reward it. In fact, I'd be very surprised if it wasn't that. So basically, think of a lot of content to come in terms of hourage of getting it all. I am very curious if the sets that will come will actually give us anything meta-y. We have had some unique stuff before, like set bonuses from the Gala suit, for example, which was from the Appreciation Fest, again from its own ticket, and that had a Stera Blessing as its set bonus to give you more rewards while you were wearing it. So I would expect to see something again like that, which might actually be some room for some testing to see if we might end up with like a killer farming getup or anything along those lines. I wouldn't expect anything crazy, but even a new skill isn't completely off the table, so I am excited to see what's what and see if we can't make some fun stuff. I would imagine we'll definitely be able to do some side grady or off meta-y shenanigans, but at a minimum, I mean, the fashion game is going to be where it's at, as every set so far has been an absolute winner. I also do wonder if we'll get a unique diva performance or change there, as it does look like the stage is quite blocked in with all of the pretty petals and actually quite different in of itself, so that would be really neat. Thematic festival diva changes with new songs, because honestly that's one of my favorite things in the entirety of Worlds, with maybe even a unique festival based buff. Oh, and talking of buff, the food! There's always festival platters with uniquely themed food, and we see that in the trailers a little bit with like the sushi rolls, and honestly that's the kind of stuff that I love, the detail, and it might even give us some unique buffs or a way to guarantee some more of the random stuff, so that's really exciting too, some good food hunting. Past that then, it's just really cool to know that we are getting festivals and thus regular extra content outside of title updates. Now granted, all of the past festivals still tended to be tied to a update, but they were their own distinct entities. There was a lot in Worldborn, 9 in total. Iceborne essentially gave us a new version of the base world ones, and then we got like a combo one, and it would decorate the Celiana hub. In a world, it was obviously the hub there, the big ship above the town, but here with the Grand Hub, it's obviously of much larger scale and detail, so I feel like we're going to get the most extravagant, beautiful setups we've seen so far. But the point is, we should in theory get 4 of them a year, or at minimum 4 in total for base wilds, before we even start thinking about perhaps a master rank expansion, which means 4 sets of new armors and fun items, and again, maybe even weapons. Hell, there was a blast pickaxe longsword from a Brachydios, which is one of my favorite, and generally that's really, really cool. It didn't really occur to me before Wilds came out, but it's really nice to know that this whole festival trend is going to continue, and I think it's a really, really wonderful thing, and I look forward to what they'll choose. Obviously, the classic spooky one in October might give us the pumpkin armor sets back, but there's plenty of unique ones to expect as well. In any case, as we do look back across the world and Iceborne ones, we had some real winners. I do think Blossom Dance is essentially the Wilds version of the Spring Blossom, but of course it's happening in summer, so not quite the same. We have also had the full Bloom Fest, the Fright Fest, and basically all of them have been an absolutely lovely time and worthy additions to the game. You'll also be getting new decorations for your a pop-up camp, new palico armor, and all in all will be a good reason to get at least another good few days of wilds in before we are waiting for Arch-Tempered Raidao again. I'm really happy and excited for it, and I just kind of wanted to stop by and say, hey, remember this is a thing, we've got some new content on the way, get ready. I will be with you as soon as it does release to, well, let you know that it's a thing that is happening. We'll go over everything that's new, give it all its reviewy testy goodness that you might expect, assuming there is something to give reviewy testy goodness to, and until then, I hope you are as excited and happy about the festivals being a thing as I am. They really were a community highlight of World and Iceborne, seeing everyone in the hub, everyone in the silly and fun armor, and even most recently in the Iceborne playthrough we did to celebrate Wilds about to arrive, we did actually wear festival armor, the space armor, for a good chunk of it, because it was actually quite a good armor set for relative to playing through the story. Obviously not, endgame meta-y, but hey, you do get stuff above like gathering sets, which is really interesting. In any case, let me know what you guys think if you are indeed excited, and until we meet again, consider supporting the future of this channel on Patreon down below. Like for more, subscribe for more, and a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world our stage. Goodbye.